Okay, mic's working, camera's working. There we go. Sorry about all that, everyone. We had a bit of a start there, a little rough. But hello, everyone. This is Tom Smith here from Blue Diamond Productions. Just wanted to do kind of a little year recap and kind of talk about what our plans are for the future of Blue Diamond and that sort of thing, and answer any questions you might have for us. So, just wanted to thank you all for joining us. If you're watching this later, you are still welcome to leave a comment with a question and I can answer it in text form to you. But if you have any questions while watching this live, of course, I will answer immediately back to you on that. So, to begin, 2022, a rough year for Blue Diamond. In fact, I would say the last couple of years have been a little rough. After the release of Lost Scene 5, I mean, the projects that we have worked on, there really hasn't been a whole lot. Um, so we did The Lost Scene 5. It was pretty big and had a lot of things happen in it. A lot of people were involved and stuff. And I would say it was one of our best films, very successful. 2021 starts. Gerald's Requiem I make by myself. Uh, did a couple episodes for The Survivor, Tomorrow's War, which has now been a project that's on hold, shelved, might be considered canceled. That one's kind of, its status is kind of up in the air, but right now I'll just say it's shelved in favor of doing other projects. It was more or less a test project of what we could do with if we made The Survivor now, what it might look like. 10 years later, it was kind of being done as for the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the first season. And then after that, filmed Trick or Treat near the end of the year, but did not release it until this year. This year, only two things were actually done in terms of filming for pretty much the whole year. That's why I'm saying this year was pretty rough. I filmed in like February. I filmed Polovich, Survival of the Fittest, and then I filmed the announcement trailer stuff for Project Polybius. Outside of that, didn't really do anything. Some writing, some pre-production stuff. Lost in 6 is in quite a delay right now, just trying to get the cast and stuff all arranged and organized. Like some shots have been filmed, stuff like that, but to get this project finished, it's going to take a bit of, I don't know, it's going to take a lot. Blue Diamond is not been doing too well, to be honest. I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys. I've begun to kind of feel like Blue Diamond's kind of having a slow death. It's slowly just been dying since about 2017. Honestly, the last 5 years have been, I mean, when you think about how much content we produced in the last 5 years compared to what we used to pump out all the time, it's not been great. We've got a lot of projects that we want to work on that are in the works, but I mean, back in the day, we had a couple of canceled projects, but nothing much. Now we've got projects that we've announced that we can't. It's not like I'm saying like I'm not trying to do the Lucasfilm thing where I just announce them and projects and say, oh, they're all canceled. No, these are projects we legitimately want to do, but it's like getting people together is really tough. And then this year I had issues with, I got sick a number of times. I've been adjusting to a new job, just some mental health, just stuff I don't really want to get into. It's been a rough year for that. A lot of other things in my life have been good. That's the other thing. Balancing doing the filmmaking and the rest of my life stuff is not always easy. I mean, I like playing video games, so I've been really trying to get back into. I've got this huge collection. I need to play some of it, so I've been, wanting to do that. And of course, spending time with my wife, doing things, going places. That's important to me, and spending time with friends and family. That's important to me. on top of, of course, working a full-time job. So yeah, it's been um, an interesting year. So that's really all I can say about that. The other thing, of course, we did celebrate the um, 15 years since Blue Diamond was founded. That was cool. Yeah, 15 years ago, around this time, we would have been editing. Price of Loyalty would be being edited. Pretty much all the filming had been done 15 years ago around this time, with the exception of a couple of shots we did in February. Everyone was on board. Sean was working on the visual effects at this time. So, we did that. We had that celebration. The other thing that happened this year that was big, I lost my easy access to editing software, to Adobe. I used to be able to use it because I worked at the university and I was able to use their computer labs, but then they locked that up to where I can't access it with my credentials. So yeah, being able to edit, I've had some workarounds. Getting that Project Plebius trailer out, I had to use that, but that happened around July, so that just slowed down any momentum we had, because suddenly I couldn't just easily get on a computer and make it work. I can't access it, but I also can't use those computers for a personal Adobe account. So those computers, which being a university, very powerful computers, can handle those programs really well. I no longer have access to that. So now I'm trying to run it on weaker computers, trying to make it work. Not easy. Not easy at all. Just trying to figure out how to make all this work it's been a challenge, to be honest. That has been something that's kind of killed a lot of the momentum we've had. Is like, okay, I'm going to be able to film all this stuff, but can I even edit it? Can I even make it work? And yeah, that's been challenging. So yeah, that's really 2022 in a nutshell. Not our finest hour by any means, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm doing well in terms of that. Better than I have in some months and stuff. It's been a bit of an up and down. But I really do want to get back into the thing. I want to get back in the groove. All I got to do is really just finally just push, I think, and we can make something happen. If I really just, bear down and really get into it, we can kind of get back up to it, because I have several projects in the works. Obviously, first project, Lost Scene 6 has to happen. Lost Scene 6 has gotta go. It's, I really want to finally end out the story. Like I said, I did set up 5 to end where the story can end there, but I really do want to give a proper finale, like properly end this story. I've got a lot of really cool moments that I've planned for 6 that I really could want you guys to see. I mean, the end of Edward Niven's journey here. And so yes, that is like number one priority. Get the Lost Scene 6 done. After that, I really do want to work on Rogues Gallery and Indiana Jones, Mantle of the Prophets. Rogues Gallery is a good test run for doing a period piece right before we do Indiana Jones. So that's why I kind of want to do Rogues Gallery first. It'll give us a chance to get some practice before Indiana Jones goes. And then after that, Project Plebius. I really am nailing down the story for a 5-season run. Obviously, things can change, but I definitely want to at least have a story in place. Same thing kind of as the Survivor was planned, 10 episodes a season, nothing too... trying to figure out the styling, whether we're going to do it all as found footage again, or just standard filming, or hybrid. I have considered doing a hybrid so we can kind of work our way around some of the more trickier shots, things, kind of like because I mean, I've described a little bit about what Predator Polybius is about. It's about like a lot of the internet myths and rumors and, creepypastas, even sort of stuff. And I really want to use, for an example, I mean, it will appear in the series pretty early on. I really want to use like the backrooms idea and really implement that right. Might be easier to do as kind of a head cam kind of thing, like they're watching on the monitors and stuff for some of those shots. This is an easier way to get around some of the trickier elements of using that kind of storyline with the very, very limited budget we have, that sort of thing. So just being able to film kind of around that. So it might end up being more of a hybrid series in that way. But I'm mostly still just developing the story because I want it to be coherent. I don't want it to be just, we planned out one season, then we plan out another one. No, I want to have all 5 seasons at least generalized, mapped out where the story's going so that everything can flow right and not suddenly just change back and forth. But that's set for hopefully October. I would love for episode 1 of the season to air like on Halloween of next year. That'd be kind of fun. But we'll see where that goes. It really depends on all these other projects and what we can actually do. Like I said, Blue Diamonds has not been in the greatest shape. The Legends, obviously, have not really gotten that script finished. I really need to, so we can finally get that film out so that the whole timeline works better, because then we'll actually have that story in there, because we have moved. A lot of stories are moving past that point. So it's kind of like, let's get there. Let's get that story finally finished. Get that one out there, and then move on to just continuing inside the Legends cinematic universe. Let's see. I want to, of course, update the channel. I'd like to do a few things just to give the channel much better look and everything. Obviously, updating a lot of the thumbnails. I want to give a new intro video. I really want to do stuff like that for 2023 to really get us going, moving forward here. As we've gone into the beginning of our 4th phase. So I wanted to just look a little better, a little neater, a little cleaner. And then, I want to keep the Star Wars of the Jedi channel. I really want to finally work on that and get that moving forward. Once again, a lot of this stuff has been slowed down due to the editing software issues we're having. But I definitely want to get that moving forward. So that channel, my editing Sith Lord channel, there's not really a whole lot of content coming up on there, because there's just, especially now with the editing software issues, don't really have time to just kind of fool around and edit things just for funsies. So that channel's pretty much probably reached kind of an end point. I mean, obviously it's not going anywhere unless YouTube deletes it, but that channel's kind of slowed down, and those are my main channels. And of course, the LCU channel, of course, continues to grow. To definitely check that out. We've got like playlists that really do help if you need to understand exactly how the universe works. We've got a timeline order, a release order. We've got a few like road to, like, the essential films that you need to see before watching the Legends that would help understand the story. I mean, obviously we're trying to make it where the Legends you can understand without having seen all the projects, but we're pointing out like a handful of films, like things like 12 different projects that at least explain a little bit of the different characters, give you at least an introduction to them all. And then there's the Knights of Mortis arc playlist, which has every one of the films that features the Knights of Mortis. So if you just want to watch those films, you can watch them all in a nice chronological order. Outside of that, that's really all the updates. I do want to, hopefully this year, I'd love to work on a project I've been wanting to do, which is restoring all of DLCs projects because there are a number that are missing. But I do have contacts with the people that made those projects, finding a way to upload them, even if it's kind of privately, just for fans of the universe to be able to watch. Because right now we're missing the first One Dignity film. The entire iPrivate series went down recently. I need to talk with Luke about maybe doing something with that. Vin and Range are all missing. And I think there might be some Soul Creek Avengers, though the re-edits kind of take care of some of that. But I might talk with Martin about trying to do something to re-upload those in the future. Finding a way to just upload them, whether we upload them to like Vimeo or something, just so people can actually like watch the entire timeline and watch every film. I'd love to calculate how many hours it would take to watch the entire thing, because right now we're up to 70 something projects that are involved in this universe. It's very long. I mean, obviously they range differently. I mean, the shortest one is 4 minutes long, I think, and it's Chess. I think it's still the shortest one, shortest entry. But then you got like the longest entry. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes or something. It's like I think it's Clank Red Mosaic. I think is the longest project. So they range quite a bit in length. So I'd be very curious to see how long the entire series would take to get through it all. But outside of that, that's really where we're at. I just wanted to give an update to you guys because I know we have been like there's not been a whole lot of content after Trick or Treat and Polovich Survival of the Fittest came out. It kind of like just died down. There was a 15-year anniversary video that was made, and after that it was just a couple of live streams and the Pleasure Polybius announcement, but there's been kind of nothing after that. So I just wanted to let you know, yes, we're still here, we're still alive, we're still wanting to work on projects, so that hasn't changed. It's just been a lot more difficult to get these projects underway. And of course, we'll keep you updated on everything. Check out. I also really want to work on getting the website up to date and worked on. That way, people can check out stuff there. That way, when we have these moments where we don't have a whole lot of information to share, like in a video or a live stream, you can at least keep up to date on there. And of course, there's still the Facebook page and stuff like that. You know, I'm trying to make sure. Once again, I'm planning on putting together a nice intro video to Boudin Productions to post on the page. One's been more updated, just to give everyone kind of an overview of everything. I just want to make it a little more streamlined than the one that I have there currently. Make it a lot shorter, because I think that one intro is like 8 minutes. It's like no one really wants to sit for 8 minutes to watch an intro. So I just kind of want to make something that'll last like 2 minutes. It just really explains. Here we are. Here's everything that's available. There you go. So hopefully there. I'll be able to do that. That's planned. Those are really our main plans for 2023. Let me see. I'm going to show back here. Let me see if I can pull it out here. Yeah, I plan on writing a lot more. I got this. This has kind of become our main. Book stuff. Of course, there's not a whole lot written in there because 2022 is not much of a year, but when I'm filling this out, this is going to be our guide book for Blue Diamonds moving forward of our content on all the channels and everything. So I'm hoping to really get this one worked out and work out a schedule and figure out how to just get everything, work around the whole editing software issues we've had and stuff like that. So the only other thing, of course, 2023 does mark 15 years of the Price of Loyalty. We get to celebrate our 15th anniversary. I wouldn't mind doing a new, I would love to do like a live stream watch party for the 15th anniversary. I'll set up a day that we can do that and we can watch it all together, and I can commentate and reflect on, 15 years later, what I think of our first project. Of course, 15 years of that film also means in May is 15 years of the Blue Diamond Director channel. Considering how many channels have gone and come and gone, it's one of the. It feels like one of the oldest channels that's still around. I mean, there are obviously ones that are 3 years older than it, but it's kind of crazy to think that that channel's now about to turn 15. But yeah, that's the big one, and of course, Voyage of the Undead and Reflection of the Soul both turned 10, and Lost in 4 turns 5, along with Martial Law, Insurrection, and Reconciliation. Although the martial law films are always weird that way because they were filmed way before they were actually released, because they sat in post production for like ever. So it's kind of weird thinking of those as being just that old, but it will be the 5th anniversary of their releases. So those are the anniversaries. It's a shame. It's just been issues with. I'm hoping to eventually get better internet so that I can do easier to do like the live stream watch parties, because I really did want to do 10th anniversary watch parties of a lot of the projects, and I think we got to the Lost Scene 2, and then that was it. I never got around to doing the second half of the Survivor first season, or the Computer Network last year. And then, of course, this year I was wanting to do the Lost Scene 3's 10th anniversary. You know, we celebrated that. We also celebrated the 10th anniversary of the Survivor season 2, and I didn't get a chance to do that one either. So hopefully, you know, I'll be able to at least catch up to some of that. If I'm not able to do too many anniversary ones, I definitely want to do the Price of Loyalty one, because last time we did like a commentary thing on it was in like 2009 or 2010. It was only a couple of years after it. It'd be interesting to watch it with all of you 15 years after the fact. So we will see. With that, that's all I can say about that. We will see. So other than that, I think that's everything. Unless anyone has any questions, which there haven't been too many people watching this live, so I doubt if there's going to be any questions here. So please leave questions in the comment section, and I will answer them. Oh, the other question. I get asked it a lot. Death is Forever. 4th James Bond film. Is it coming out like 2023, 2024? I don't know. I got a lot of other projects ahead of it. I don't want to do that one until we know we can work on a big project. And things like Lost in 6, Indiana Jones, stuff like that. If we can get those and make those work as well as I'm wanting those films to be, we might be in a better position to do that, because I don't want to do a 4th James Bond film and actually come back to the role, as it's about to actually reach 10 years since I last played Bond, to actually come back and only make I'm trying to find the right wording. Just basically not a lower quality project than what we're capable of. I want to show, okay, how much growth have we had since Reflection of the Soul, and definitely how much growth we've had since Price of Loyalty. You know, so it'll take some time. If you haven't, please vote, of course, in the polls that I've posted up on the community page. I will continue, of course, keep an eye out on that, because I continue to do updates. Like I said, I just want to make the channel look more professional, cleaner, more streamlined. So I hope I'm able to start working on all that starting this next year. Everyone, have a happy new year. Let's move forward in 2023, and hopefully things will move along for Blue Diamond and for the rest of everyone else. There's a lot of projects I'm looking forward to. A lot of good projects from other people this year. I was very impressed, especially with my fellow collaborators within the Legends Cinematic universe. Was very honored that Jacob working on his Thomas Lund project, that he made a newer project that was inspired by the Trick or Treat and General's Requiem and those sorts of projects. So I was very honored by that. And also, happy birthday, Jacob. Just a little shout out there to you. But yeah, so, and there's plenty of good projects. I'm looking forward to the 25th Phil Creek film next year. Hopefully it comes out next year. Looking forward to what everyone's planning, because it's nice, even when I haven't been able to I haven't commented as much on a lot of the people's projects, and I haven't watched as many of them as I'd really like to, but I'd really like to get back into that. I also want to get back into reading. A little personal note. I haven't done as much of that as I should. I think I really want to make this 2023 a much more productive year, because, yeah, this year was not great, especially for Blue Diamond. I think it's not the weakest year we've had. 2019, I think, is our weakest year. Because 2019 we didn't really do anything. Like, there were some ideas thrown around, but nothing got made. 2020, at least, we made The Lost Scene 5, which was significant. So it got us moving. 2017, nothing really got done, but the Drive U came out that year, so at least something was released and something was worked on early on. I was editing that film at that time, so 2017 had that. 2009 was another year that was kind of seemed a lot slower, but of course we were filming the Shadow Revenge the whole time that year, like the entire year, pretty much from January all the way through October. We were filming that, so we were definitely doing stuff, and there was content being posted on the channel. That was a pretty good one. 2021, at least we had like the General's Requiem, Trick or Treat was being filmed, the Survivor Tomorrow's War. So there was stuff going on. It was a lot slower and a lot more just me filming with myself for a lot of them. But at least there was still stuff going on. So this has been one of the weaker years. I mean, I don't think we're ever going to have a year like 2011 where we have like that many projects just clicking along that fast. But a lot of stuff has changed. We try to be a little more professional, and so it takes a little bit longer to shoot these stuff. And also, 11 years ago, a lot of things were very different. Very different, just in terms of all our lives. So I think that just plays a factor into it. So, yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So just keep an eye out for all the content. Keep an eye out for just what we're up to, the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and the website. I'll have like the links. I'm planning on putting them on this video. I'll have those links. Going to try to make the new intro, and of course work on Lost Scene 6 and the Legends and all that sort of good stuff. Work on these films. And then, of course, the Star Wars Jedi channel. Want to get that kick going. I've only posted one video, actually, content video. And outside of that, I think that's it. So, yeah, 2022. What a year. And I think that's it. So, happy 2023, everyone. Cheers. And have a good night.